What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So we're going to talk a little bit about Hogwarts Legacy and some of the challenges that this game actually does face at the moment. Now, the biggest challenge is something that people are not necessarily talking about. Why, in the other realm of conversation, the challenge that is probably going to be the least influential is what it seems everyone is hanging their hats on, or at least most people. Now, we're going to take some time. We're going to discuss this, and I hope you guys are able to keep an open mind across the board regarding these particular changes. So right now, Hogwarts Legacy, first of all, is getting these order cancellations going on for, it seems, the Xbox One version and maybe the PS4 versions because they've been delayed. There are articles here that are basically highlighting this. So, you know, with just over a month ago, according to gamingbible.co.uk, until Hogwarts Legacy releases on PC and new-gen consoles, that is, some fans are now having their pre-orders canceled seemingly out of nowhere. As GG Recon reports, a number of gamers have taken to Twitter having received messages about canceled pre-orders, and Warner Games is completely aware of the situation, according to the official support accounts. The cancellations are as a result of the delay, which was announced last month. Now, I saw this actually in real time. I didn't even have to see a report. Somebody messaged Warner Brothers and said, "Hey, my pre-order got canceled," and they said, "Yes, that's because the Xbox Series version came with the Xbox One version. So they canceled it, and that person asked if they could pre-order again. And Warner Brothers support on Twitter pretty much said, yes, you can go ahead and pre-order again." So this is a very small side of the conversation in terms of something that could affect it in regard to, say, you know, maybe sales. But the fact that the Xbox One versions and the PlayStation 4 version pre-orders are getting canceled are probably where we need to kind of start from. So these, from a, you know, perspective of having promised these versions, have caused a lot of players to now be skeptical. Some people are wondering, am I going to still be able to play Hogwarts Legacy even after it's been promised to me to release on, you know, this particular platform? Gotham Knights and its developers went ahead and straight canceled the game because it just could not perform well on those platforms. Some people are thinking, well, it's Warner. Maybe they're trying not to stir up, say, a huge storm. They're probably going to quietly release the game. As the game is exciting and fun, they're thinking they're probably going to cancel it. I don't know how likely this is, but from a technical perspective, I want to go ahead and tell you that this is going to be a big challenge as to if they'll cancel it. Now, the PS5 version of the game, all we've seen so far is gameplay that was done in 2 showcases. And the gameplay that we got to see in 2 showcases were actually in 30 FPS. Now, this is the second side of the conversation as to the performance of the game. The performance on the game, even on these current gen consoles, seem to be that 30 FPS is going to be where the game is actually going to be sitting in terms of performance, and possibly we're going to get a 60 FPS mode. But we're almost a month away from releasing of the game. I don't see a 60 FPS gameplay mode yet so far on console, so I'm going to assume that this is how the game is going to be delivered. Now, fans are not really worried about this. A lot of fans don't care if the game is running at 24 FPS. Most of them are just excited to play a game that has that Hogwarts fantasy. But there will be a ruckus. There will be conversations around it. And these are going to be the things that are pretty much going to, you know, dominate the news cycle. I see a lot of people right now talking about J.K. Rowling and some of their reasonings for not, you know, purchasing the game. And I have to say that, to me, I think these conversations are secondary, if nothing infantile, because believe it or not, people are going to disagree with everybody else's opinions, which to me, I think it's quite interesting and, you know, almost asinine anyways, that anyone is bothered what J.K. Rowling even thinks in her own personal opinions when you're looking forward to a video game. But if that's how you feel or that's how you perceive things, hey, by all means, do you. But these are not the big critical issues right now. The critical issues right now facing Hogwarts Legacy are going to be technical things. They're going to be the availability of the, you know, game itself on the platforms that it was initially promised. Then you have the possibility of the Switch version, which I think that even has a way to go ahead and kind of get a middle ground out of it all. Pretty much being that, you know, with the Switch version, you can actually run a server-based version of the game like they did with Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, where you had to be on the internet and have an internet connection to do so. But if you go ahead and actually, you know, narrow all of this stuff down, I think these are going to be the biggest challenges in terms of the technical side, which is the game's performance at the moment, and the availability to the other consoles that it was promised on if the developers were to go ahead and cancel that. These are the lingering questions that gamers have right now. And I think the developers are probably going to still deliver. There's a lot of time to still make the optimization actually work for those consoles. But I don't know how they're going to be able to, go ahead and, in a sense, gel these difficulties and explain the challenges to their audiences. The game is running 30 FPS on a PS5 development kit here. How is it going to run on the PlayStation 4? And is it not going to get any better performance on the PS5 compared to the PS4 if that were to come out? These are questions that the developers will probably have to deal with as time goes on. But again, like I've said, it doesn't affect the way fans actually perceive the game. A lot of fans are ready to go, and a lot of people don't care about 60 FPS apparently from this particular game and its reception. So I laugh, and I think this game is going to pretty much be the game that vindicates my position on Gotham Knights when a lot of people were talking about 30 FPS versus 60 FPS. And I said for the longest time that a lot of people don't care much about, 30 FPS or 60 FPS discrepancy. If they did, they'd be playing on PC. That's where I'm going to be playing Hogwarts Legacy. But, I think we just need to wait and see. And behold, there might be a 45 FPS or 40 FPS or, 60 FPS mode that they're probably holding back to surprise us. But again, we're a month away from release, and we haven't necessarily seen too much more gameplay in regard to these things. We haven't gone too far into the game. But again, another thing too is I've never really thought that that was a big factor in a video game. Mechanics are a huge part, and all of these other aspects. And then finally, another thing that we need to take into account is the Dark Arts Battle Arena that comes in the deluxe edition that doesn't necessarily come in the main edition. This might make some players feel like, we didn't necessarily get the very best product, as well as the PlayStation exclusive content that's there. So there are all these discrepancies that you have to be worried about, because eventually they're going to rear their head while the game is already released. So if you're paying very close attention, look out for these different things and reconcile with yourself how it is you want to approach them, how it is you want to, as a gamer, go ahead and ensure that they are factored into your purchasing decision over anything that anybody is saying on social media and a lot of these news organizations. I mean, the stupidity and the trending is so interesting when there are more important things to actually weigh when it comes to playing Hogwarts Legacy. But anyways, these are my thoughts on the matter. I really wanted to go ahead and share them. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.